The social change theories and terms learned in Units 3 and 4 can be applied to many different aspects of the world around us. This video will show how different terms and theories we learn can apply to topics our generation is facing, online articles we read, our own lives, the world around us on both a local and global level, and topics we have discussed already in class. Hasty maturation is a term to describe how this generation of kids is growing up way quicker than any previous. We don't like using the term sexualization of the younger generation because we shouldn't see kids as sexual objects. This relates to a topic we've discussed in class. Jessica presented a roundtable on toddlers and tiaras and how kids are entering beauty pageants. They have spray tans, fake hair, and pounds of makeup on their face to make them look older. This isn't good for their self-esteem because we've seen an increase of self-harm in younger kids as young as 5. Young girls want to be models more than any other profession. We are teaching them that looks are more important than anything else before. What we need to do is stop this hasty maturation and have the parents teach them a normal childhood and what the values that they should be learning are. David Elkins came up with the theory of adolescent egocentrism. David Elkins was an American psychologist. At one point, he worked at Jean Piaget's Institute in Switzerland. Jean Piaget was the psychologist who came up with the study on cognitive development. Elkins' work expands on Jean Piaget's findings. David Elkins' theory of adolescent egocentrism is all about how during the stages of adolescence, which is between the childhood and adulthood, adolescents believe the world revolves around with them, and they have inflated egos. This is definitely true in my life. When I was an adolescent, I fought with my parents all the time because I thought no matter what, I was right. It turns out that I actually didn't know everything in the world, and most of the time, they were right. But the theory of adolescent egocentrism is all about how during adolescence, you will always feel you were right, and you will not listen to others.
The alternative test topics I chose to discuss was the roundtable article discussed in class from Sophia the robot and her defined new title as having personhood. Sophia is a special human-android robot developed by Hong Kong-based company Harrison's Robotics. Sophia was activated on February 16th and made her first public appearance at South by Southwest Festival in mid-March in 2016. In Austin, Texas, United States. It was able to display more than 50 facial expressions, definitions of personhood, and its quality or condition of being an individual person. A theory that can be applied here is defiance, theory by Robert Merton. Sculptural theory states that an alternative system of beliefs and values does not conform to mainstream culture. This can be seen as offensive to some as well as controversial due to a robot being considered a person in every way, even though it lacks significant human features. The second topic I will be addressing is drug contact and its effects on teens. It is clearly prevalent that drug use in teens has been a big problem, but we have seen significant increases in teen death linked to drug use. This can be seen easily accessible from technology, but also the current problem that substances being laced with fentanyl. A theory that can be linked to this problem is teen egoism created by Carl Mannheim, which shows us that at this important development stage in our lives, teens and adolescents do not care about third-party factors which can affect them in the long term. A second theory that can be applied here is fresh contacts, and this has to deal with the personal interactions via young people and their beliefs and influences on each other.
The globalization topic that we choose to talk about is the macro rise of mass corporations and companies. A few examples of this would be companies like Apple, McDonald's, and Starbucks. These are massive corporations that use conformity, so the act of matching attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors to what individuals perceive as normal to a social group. We notice that the consumption within these companies are largely based off of what other people are buying and the popularity due to the product, not actually necessarily the quality. Conformity can be extremely dangerous when it comes to these mass corporations controlling the mass market And I think it's important for us as individuals to encourage shopping more local and encouraging smaller businesses, like your local coffee shops or local bookstores. The article I read is called 2018 was the year veganism lost its status as a moral signifier. It essentially discussed how in 2013 or 2014, veganism was seen as pretentious or extremely feminine, and how now it has completely shifted and is now seen as just normal, and it is so easy to find vegan options at restaurants or at a grocery store, and nobody's really questioned for being vegan anymore. I think we can relate this to ethical consumption because we've seen how a mass group in society has taken something that was seen as kind of weird and made it extremely popular and kind of a norm, and how it has shifted like not only the economy but also like the public awareness of the products, and how now it's at an all-time high.
A lot of the theories and terms we discussed in our video, like David Elkin's theory of adolescence, hasty maturation, and Karl Mannheim's fresh contacts, relate to teenagers. These theories can help us understand our life better now, as we are all teenagers. Another common theme we've been talking about is how this generation of parents may have negative effects on their kids. Learning these theories now will help us down the road with our own kids when we are older. Challenge and Change has been a great course for all of us. While Miss Lancaster has taught us theories and how to apply them, it has been us, the students, that get to do lots of the critical thinking when we have class discussions, roundtables, or presentations. This is the type of learning that other courses don't provide. With this group of people, many are opinionated, which is good because it opens everyone up in the class to a variety of strong perspectives. A lot of courses talk about current events with us. Most of the time we take stories at face value, but in Challenge of Change, we never take anything at face value. We are taught to question things, look at stories from every angle, even if we don't agree with some of them. The social science inquiry model has many different steps and stages that all relate to each other. If your research is bad at the beginning, your conclusion is going to be bad at the end. While the steps may take a while and seem pointless, doing all that work is beneficial to us because it teaches us that it isn't the results that matter, it's the process that you took to get them there. Next year, when we are in university, the fact that we have focused on this will make our lives just a little bit easier. In conclusion, we all think that Challenge and Change has been an amazing course and would recommend that every high school student think about taking it because down the road, you'll be grateful that you did.